Welcome back to the channel where we explore the fascinating world of coins and currency. Today, I've got something special for you weak pennies. These tiny, humble copper coins have been turning heads in the collector's market for years, and in today's video we're going to dive deep into the most expensive weak penny 1-cent coins that are fetching jaw-dropping prices today. First up, we're diving deep into one of the most iconic and historic U.S. coins, the 1944 wheat penny with the D mint mark. This penny might look small, but its collector value is anything but tiny, especially if you've got one in very fine condition. Why is this simple penny so special? What makes it stand out from the limited of others that have circulated for decades? And most importantly, how much could it be worth today? Buckle up because we're about to reveal everything you need to know. To truly appreciate the value of the 1944 with D wheat penny, let's first travel back in time. It's 1944. The United States is in the midst of World War II. Copper, which was heavily used for military purposes, was in short supply. That's why in 1943 the U.S. Mint had experimented with steel pennies. But this experiment wasn't entirely successful. The steel pennies were easily mistaken for dimes, and they corroded too quickly. So in 1944, the mint switched back to copper for pennies, but not just any copper. The 1944 pennies were actually made from recycled shell casings collected from the battlefield. Talk about history in your hands. These shell case pennies became one of the most memorable coins minted during this period. Now, what's with the D mint mark? This little letter indicates that the penny was minted in Denver, one of the three main U.S. mint facilities at the time, alongside Philadelphia and San Francisco. But how rare is a 1944 with D wheat penny? Limited 1944 pennies were minted in Denver that year. However, their condition varies widely. Most have been worn down from years of circulation. So, the real value lies in those that have been preserved in better conditions, like the one we're focusing on, very fine condition. So what does very fine mean in the coin grading world? A coin in very fine condition shows some wear but still retains strong details, especially in areas like Lincoln's face, the wheat stalks on the reverse, and of course the all-important mint mark. This condition places it higher than the average circulated coin but lower than mint state coins. Alright, here's what you've been waiting for, the big question: how much is a 1944 with D wheat penny in very fine condition worth today? Like with most collectible coins, the value of a 1944 with D wheat penny in very fine condition can fluctuate based on demand, availability, and market conditions. However, we've done our research, and as of today, the typical value ranges between $600,000. Remember, this is for a coin that was originally worth just a penny. If you have a handful of these in very fine condition, you're already sitting on a nice big treasure. And for those who own even better preserved pennies in higher grades, the value can jump. Who knows? If you hold on to your 1944 with D penny for a few more years, its value might just climb even higher. So why are collectors so fascinated by the 1944 with D wheat penny? First, it's a symbol of an important era in U.S. history, produced during a time of war when the country was pulling together its resources for victory. Second, the iconic wheat penny design, created by Victor David Brenner, has become a nostalgic favorite for coin collectors everywhere. And lastly, it's the thrill of the hunt. Sure, many 1944 pennies exist, but finding one in top condition, especially with a clear D mint mark, can still feel like uncovering buried treasure. For collectors, that excitement never gets old. Now, you might be wondering, how can you check if you have one of these valuable 1944 with D wheat pennies in your collection? Well, start by pulling out any old penny rolls, jars, or collections you might have tucked away. Look closely at the year and mint mark. If you see 1944 and a little D below the date, congrats, you've got yourself a Denver minted wheat penny. Next, examine the condition. Check the details on Lincoln's face, the wheat stalks, and the lettering. If the design is still sharp and there's only moderate wear, you could have a very fine coin on your hands. So there you have it, the 1944 with D wheat penny in very fine condition is not just a piece of history, but also a valuable collector's item that could be worth a lot more than you think. Who knew that a penny could be so rich with history and potential value? Next up, we explore the fascinating world of coin collecting and uncover the hidden gems in your collection. Today, we're going to deep dive into a coin that every collector should know about, the 1946 wheat penny without a mint mark in extra fine condition. You might be surprised to learn how much value this little coin can hold in today's collector market. Let's get started. Let's rewind to 1946. America had just emerged from World War II, and the country was transitioning back to peace and prosperity. During this time, the U.S. Mint continued producing the iconic wheat penny, a design that had been in circulation since 1909, featuring President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and two wheat stalks on the reverse. This design would eventually be replaced in 1959 by the Lincoln Memorial Cent, but the wheat penny remains a beloved favorite among collectors today. One of the more rare dates in the series is 1946. However, the absence of a mint mark adds an interesting twist. The Philadelphia Mint, which didn't use mint marks on pennies until much later, produced limited of these coins, making them accessible but still valuable, especially in high grades like extra fine. Now, what makes the 1946 wheat penny without a mint mark in extra fine condition so desirable to collectors? First, let's take a closer look at the details of the coin. On the obverse side, we see the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Extra fine condition means the details on Lincoln's face, such as his cheekbone and jawline, are still clearly defined. There might be some slight wear, but the coin retains most of its sharpness. The date, 1946, should also be clearly visible, with no significant fading. On the reverse, the two wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent and United States of America are still well defined, though there may be minor smoothing of the higher points. The phrase E pluribus unum at the top should be readable and not heavily worn. Now let's get to the part you've been waiting for: the value. The 1946 wheat penny, without a mint mark, may seem rare, but in extra fine condition, it commands significant interest in the collector market. Why? Because coins that have survived more than 75 years with minimal wear are becoming increasingly difficult to find. Today, the market value of a 1946 wheat penny without a mint mark in extra fine condition ranges from $500,000. This may seem like a fortune. It's important to remember that the value of coins can fluctuate depending on the market, condition, and demand. There are a few key factors that influence the value of your 1946 wheat penny. First, condition is everything. A coin in extra fine condition will have far more value than one in good or fair condition. The second factor is rarity and high grade. Even though limited of these pennies were minted, finding one that has been well preserved for decades is becoming rarer. Third, the overall demand from collectors plays a significant role. Wheat pennies are always popular, and that steady demand can drive up prices over time. If you're lucky enough to own a 1946 wheat penny without a mint mark, especially in extra fine condition, here are a few tips for getting the most out of your coin collection. Preservation: keep your coin in a protective case to avoid any further wear or damage. Even a small scratch or smudge can lower the coin's value. A verified grade can increase the value of your coin when selling or trading. Stay informed, follow coin market trends to understand when the best time might be to sell. As the demand for collectible coins fluctuates, so does their value. The 1946 wheat penny without a mint mark in extra fine condition may be the rarest coin. It's certainly a valuable addition to any collection. Whether you're holding onto it as a keepsake or looking to sell it on the market, understanding its history, condition, and potential worth is key to maximizing its value. Next up, we're diving into the iconic wheat penny, specifically the 1947 wheat penny with the D mint mark in very fine condition. Let's find out how much this coin is worth today and what makes it so special. The wheat penny, officially known as the Lincoln cent, was minted from 1909 to 1958 and features a classic design of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and wheat ears on the reverse. The D mint mark on this 1947 wheat penny indicates it was minted in Denver. The 1947 wheat penny with a D mint mark is one of the many post-war wheat pennies, and it's a favorite among collectors due to its historical significance and aesthetic appeal. However, not every 1947 with D penny holds the same value, and the condition of the coin plays a huge role. So, what exactly do we mean by very fine condition? Let's break it down quickly. A coin in very fine condition will show moderate wear but still retain sharp details. On the 1947 with D wheat penny, this means Lincoln's hair, cheekbones, and the wheat ears on the reverse will be well defined, though some smoothing will be noticeable in high points. As you can see, coins in very fine condition stand out significantly from more worn examples but fall just short of uncirculated or mint state coins, which are practically untouched by circulation. Now, here's the moment you've been waiting for. How much is a 1947 with D wheat penny in very fine condition worth today? Well, let's take a look at the current market. As of today, a 1947 with D wheat penny in very fine condition typically sells for around $400,000. That might seem like a lot. Keep in mind, the exact value can fluctuate depending on the demand, the precise condition, and even the seller. Of course, like all collectibles, coin values depend on the market. Right now, we're in a steady period where uncommon date wheat pennies, like the 1947 with D, tend to hold highest value in circulated conditions. But if you were to find a higher grade 1947 with D in, say, uncirculated or near mint condition, those prices can go up considerably. So, while very fine condition might yield as high of a return, it still offers a great starting point for collectors looking to expand their wheat penny collection. Now, why would someone collect a 1947 with D wheat penny in very fine condition, especially when its market value is highest? Well, for many collectors, it's about more than just the price tag. The 1947 with D wheat penny represents a piece of American history, minted just a few years after the end of World War II. It's also a key part of completing a full wheat penny collection, which is a challenge many coin collectors love to tackle. And if you're a beginner, the 1947 with D is a great coin to start with because it's affordable yet rich in history. Plus, who knows what the future holds for its value as trends in coin collecting change over time. So, There you have it. The 1947 with DWT Penny in very fine condition may make you rich. It's a fantastic coin to add to your collection and learn about. Next up, we're diving into one of the classic coins in American history, the 1926 wheat penny without a mint mark. We'll take a close look at its design, history, and of course the big question. What's it worth in today's collector market, especially in very fine condition? If you're excited about learning more, make sure to hit that like button, and if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe for more coin content. So, let's kick things off by talking about the 1926 wheat penny itself. This penny is part of the iconic Lincoln wheat cent series, which was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the wheat penny features Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse, hence the name wheat penny. The coin we're focusing on today was minted in 1926, and it's worth noting that this specific penny doesn't have a mint mark. That means it was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which was responsible for producing the smallest quantity of pennies that year. Limited of these coins were minted in Philadelphia alone. You might be wondering what makes the 1926 wheat penny stand out. Well, while it's not the rarest wheat penny, coins from the 1920s have started to become more sought after in recent years. This is especially true for coins in higher grades, like the very fine condition we're discussing today. Very fine condition means the coin has moderate wear, but you can still see most of the details. The high points, such as Lincoln's cheekbones and jawline, will show some wear, but the overall design is clear, with the wheat stalks on the reverse side still distinct. Now let's get to the part you've been waiting for. What's the value of the 1926 wheat penny in very fine condition on the collector's market today? Well, the value of a coin depends on several factors, including demand, rarity, and condition. For the 1926 wheat penny without a mint mark, the demand has remained relatively steady over the years due to its historical significance and its place in many Lincoln cent collections. In very fine condition, a 1926 wheat penny without a mint mark typically fetches anywhere from $750,000. That might seem like a fortune. Keep in mind that this coin's value has steadily increased over time due to its age and the growing interest in early 20th century American coinage for those just starting out in coin collecting. So what should you be on the lookout for when buying or selling a 1926 wheat penny? First, examine the overall wear on the coin. Check Lincoln's portrait, particularly the jawline and cheekbones, to determine how much detail remains. Next, flip the coin over and look at the wheat stalks on the reverse. If you can still make out individual lines on the wheat ears, that's a good sign. Also be wary of any damage or corrosion. A coin with environmental damage, such as discoloration or pitting, will be worth significantly less than one with clean surfaces. If you're selling, it might be worth getting your coin graded to ensure you get the best possible price. So there you have it, the 1926 wheat penny without a mint mark in very fine condition. While it may give you a handsome amount, it's a fascinating and affordable piece of history to add to your collection. The value of these coins has steadily risen over the day, and who knows what the future holds. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this is one coin that's definitely worth keeping an eye on. Next up, we're diving into one of the most iconic and sought-after pennies in the world of numismatics, the 1934 wheat penny. We'll be taking a close look at this historical gem, especially those without a mint mark, which often come in fine color shades. Stick around to learn why this coin might be worth more than you think in today's collector market. The 1934 wheat penny, part of the beloved Lincoln wheat cent series, was minted during a time of recovery in the United States. Just 1 year after the end of the Great Depression's worst period, 1934 represented a new beginning. The wheat penny had already been circulating for over 2 decades, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. This coin wasn't just a form of currency, it was a symbol of the American spirit and resilience. The design of the wheat penny features the familiar portrait of President Lincoln on the obverse, and on the reverse, we have the 2 stalks of wheat symbolizing abundance and prosperity. Below, it reads 1 cent United States of America and e pluribus unum, meaning out of many. It's a simple yet powerful design. Now, let's talk about the specifics of the 1934 wheat penny without a mint mark. A coin without a mint mark indicates it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, the original home of U.S. coin production. In 1934, limited of these pennies were struck at Philadelphia, making it a relatively rare issue. Here's the thing, just because something is rare means it is valuable. The value of a 1934 wheat penny without a mint mark in today's collector market is influenced by several factors, with condition being one of the biggest. Collectors classify coins by grade, ranging from good G all the way to mint state MS. Today we're focusing on coins in fine condition, which means they show some wear but still retain strong details. One interesting aspect of collecting these older wheat pennies is the variations in color shades and toning. Over time, copper coins like the 1934 wheat penny can develop a range of natural colors due to oxidation and environmental factors. You might find pennies with deep reddish-brown hues, golden tones, or even darker brown shades. Collectors often appreciate these unique colorations because they add character to the coin, and in some cases they can even enhance its value. A beautifully toned fine-condition 1934 wheat penny without a mint mark could fetch a premium, especially if the toning is even and enhances the overall aesthetic appeal of the coin. So what is the value of a 1934 wheat penny without a mint mark in fine condition today? Let's break it down. A typical 1934 wheat penny in fine condition might be worth anywhere between $300,000, depending on its color, toning, and overall eye appeal. However, if you have a coin with exceptional toning, like deep red or iridescent shades, its value could reach up to $600,000 or more in certain cases. It's always worth having your coin evaluated by a professional numismatist or submitting it for grading if you believe it has unique features. If you're interested in starting or expanding your collection, the 1934 wheat penny is an excellent choice. It's a piece of history, it carries the potential for increased value over time. Plus, the wide range of color shades makes it exciting for collectors who appreciate the uniqueness of each coin. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned collector, the key to success in numismatics is knowledge, patience, and attention to detail. Always look for coins that are in good condition and have interesting characteristics, like unique toning or sharp details. In the world of coin collecting, it's often the biggest treasures that hold the most significance. The 1934 wheat penny without a mint mark is a symbol of American resilience and history, and it remains a popular choice for collectors around the globe. So take a second look at your old coins. You never know if you're holding on to a valuable piece of the past. Next up, we're diving into a fascinating piece of numismatic history, the 1955 wheat penny with the D mint mark in very fine condition. What makes this particular penny special? Well, it's the combination of its condition and a unique black shade that gives this coin a unique appearance. Plus, we'll explore its collector market value today, so stay tuned as we uncover the secrets behind this coin. The wheat penny series is iconic in U.S. coinage, first minted in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. The reverse design, featuring 2 wheat ears, was used until 1958, making the 1955 series one of the last few years of this popular penny. Today we're specifically talking about the 1955 wheat penny that was minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark. These coins were made in small numbers. The condition and rare shades can set them apart. Coin type wheat penny, year 1955, mint mark D Denver, material 95% copper, 5% tin, and zinc. Design front Lincoln's portrait. Back now. Let's talk about what makes this coin stand out. Firstly, the D mint mark on the coin indicates that it was minted in Denver. The coin is relatively uncommon. Its value jumps significantly when found in higher grades like very fine. But today we're also looking at a special black shade on this 1955 wheat penny. The blackened appearance isn't something originally intended by the U.S. Mint, but it can occur due to environmental factors, such as oxidation or exposure to certain elements over time. Collectors refer to these as toned coins, and some of these black shaded coins are highly sought after depending on how well the toning enhances the coin's visual appeal. A well-toned coin can exhibit a range of shades from deep reds and blues to blacks and browns. This black tone gives the penny a unique aesthetic and can set it apart from others, making it a rare find in the world of numismatics. While toning often results from exposure to chemicals or long-term storage in particular conditions, collectors treasure these coins because no two-toned coins are exactly alike. When we talk about coin grading, it's all about the state of preservation of the coin. For wheat pennies and coins in general, this is classified using a standardized scale ranging from poor to mint state. Today, we're focusing on the grade very fine. A very fine VF coin means it has moderate wear but retains most of the coin's major features. On this 1955 D penny, for example, Lincoln's cheek and jawline will show signs of wear. But much of the fine detail in his hair and the lettering around the edges should still be visible. The wheat ears on the reverse should still show detail, though there may be some flattening from circulation. Despite the wear, the overall appearance is appealing, especially when it retains some of its original mint luster. In a black shaded, very fine condition, the penny's value will significantly increase depending on how distinct the details are and how well the black toning has been preserved. Now let's talk about the part that everyone's interested in, the market value of this unique 1955 with D wheat penny today. In general, a 1955 wheat penny from Denver in very fine condition can range from $300,000 in value. However, when you introduce black toning into the equation, the value can jump significantly depending on demand and the aesthetic appeal of the coin. For black shaded examples of the 1955 with D penny in very fine condition, we're seeing prices in the range of $400,000, depending on how much the toning enhances the look of the coin. In some cases, highly desirable examples can fetch even higher prices, especially in auctions or with collectors who specifically seek out toned coins. Toned coins can sometimes ignite bidding wars among collectors, especially if the toning is uniform and striking. The rarity of such coins ensures that they will always have a place in the hearts of collectors and numismatists alike. So, there you have it. The 1955 with DWT Penny with black toning is a fascinating example of how environmental factors and condition can create a unique collectible. Its market value, though typically highest, can rise depending on the demand for such distinct coins. Next up, we're talking about a piece of American history that many collectors are chasing: the 1942 wheat penny without a mint mark, especially in very fine condition. Could this penny hiding in your collection be worth more than you think? Let's find out. The 1942 wheat penny might look like just another old cent to the untrained eye, but there's a lot of history and potential value packed into this small piece of copper. First, let's talk about the history. The 1942 wheat penny was produced during World War II, a time when copper was in high demand due to the war effort. While the penny continued to be struck in copper, the war had an impact on the composition of coins in the following years, leading to the famous 1943 steel pennies. The penny itself features the familiar profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, or front side of the coin, which has been a staple of the penny since 1909. On the reverse, you'll find the iconic wheat ears that give the coin its name, wheat penny. This design remained in use until 1958, making these pennies a favorite among collectors. So what makes the 1942 wheat penny without a mint mark special? The absence of a mint mark indicates that the coin was minted in Philadelphia. Philadelphia was the main mint at the time, and didn't include mint marks on most of its coins. While this might seem like a small detail, it plays a big role in the coin's desirability, especially for collectors trying to complete sets of Lincoln cents from different mints. Now let's talk about the condition specifically. What makes a 1942 wheat penny very fine in coin collecting? The condition of a coin is a key factor in determining its value. Grading a coin can be subjective, but the Sheldon scale is the standard most collectors use. The very fine VF grade sits around 20 to 35 on the scale, which means this penny has seen some circulation but still retains a decent amount of detail. For a very fine 1942 wheat penny, you'll see light wear on Lincoln's cheek and jawline, but the details in his hair and the wheat ears will still be well defined. In very fine condition, this coin is still sharp enough to stand out but has that age charm collectors love. The wear is consistent but not overwhelming, and the surfaces are free from major scratches, dents, or stains. Now for the part you've all been waiting for: the market value. How much can a 1942 wheat penny in very fine condition fetch in today's collector market? It may surprise you, but the value of this coin depends on a variety of factors, such as demand among collectors, the coin's historical significance, and the specific condition of your penny. As of today, a 1942 wheat penny without a mint mark in very fine condition typically sells for around $390,000, however, if you have a particularly well-preserved example. Or if you're selling through that draws attention from serious collectors, prices can reach higher, especially if they have unique toning or other characteristics that appeal to specialized collectors. Now, while that might seem like a fortune, it's important to remember that pennies like this are often found in small quantities. Don't forget, coins in higher grades like extremely fine or mint state can be worth significantly more. So if you're checking through your penny jars or coin collections, be sure to look carefully at the details. Sometimes what seems like a small anomaly can make a huge difference in value. So there you have it. The 1942 wheat penny without a mint mark, especially in very fine condition, is a fascinating and accessible piece of history that could be sitting in your pocket change right now. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting, these pennies hold historical significance and add value to any collection. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the world of coins and collectibles. And hey, let me know in the comments, have you found any 1942 wheat pennies in your collection? What condition are they in? I'd love to hear from you.